RusAme reader, Kurosong, and today I will be reading to you from RusAme Oneshots by RainbowStar_772. That's me! Now, on to A Sleepover Worth Remembering. America hummed a little, hearing his phone buzz. He looked over at it and reached for it. Maybe Russia wanted to hang out. So he turned on his phone and looked at his notifications. It was a text from a group chat he was in, meaning it probably wasn't Russia. He frowned a little, but checked the message anyway. Might as well see what was happening in the chat. People whose homes I can legally break into. So, we have the house to ourselves for the next 2 days. Japan, in the most rude way possible. What the fuck does this have to do with us? Also, see how ridiculous this way of texting is. Japan, please stop texting like that. Also, who changed my name? I'd like it back to normal. Also, can someone change the name of the chat? Please stop breaking into our houses, Jappa. No, not to both. I'll change it. Tall Alcoholic has changed best friend's name to Stars. There you go, America. Thanks, Russ. Lawbreaker has changed Star's name to Starry Todd. Jappa, why? Japonia, why? It was fine. Just because I can. Please cease. No, ya little runt. Japan, please. It looks like Japonia got to everyone's fucking names. Who's who? Them Greece. The runt. Apparently. Ukraine. Also, fuck you, Japan. It's just a fact. Also, Canada here. We know, you horny fuck. I wish I didn't. I saw your nudes and I did not need to. Statistically, you would be the best at BJ's here. Well, how many have you given? None! Well, virgin. Yes, and? You should practice on Russia. Poland, please. You know better than this. I took over Europe once and I'll do it again. He should, lol. Practice on Russia, I mean. Poland should not take over Europe again. Too late. Already planning. Bunk. Get invaded, bitch. Okay, no. I'll buy them this time. You're acting high and mighty for someone with a GPS tracking device. Damn, you're gonna get your ass beat, Poland. Anyway, we have the house to ourselves for the next 2 days. We fucking know. I mean this in the most polite way possible, Jappa. Please get to the point. I don't. Get to the point, Japan. Fine. We're gonna have a sleepover. Who's in? I'm gonna be busy. If it's with attempting to invade a continent, I will be busy as well. Damn, you're gonna get your ass beat, Poland. Germany's ass is in danger. That's what I thought. Who's coming? I am, lol. I'ma get high. I'll be coming as well then. I don't want to deal with that. So, America, Mexico, and Canada. Who else? I'm in. I'll be coming as well to stop Canada from doing a stupid. I'll be coming since America is. Plus, I have to stop Ukraine from doing a stupid. Aw, y'all are no fun. Yay! May, Russia, and Ukraine are coming. Anyone else? Existing in this death is a regret. Ain't that the truth? Have you taken your meds, America? Yes, I have. So this is just casual anxiety from existing in the chat. There's a lot of people in this chat. I'm going to come hug you. That can wait till we go to Japan's. Tall Alcoholic sent a voice message. Too late, I am on the way. What would be a good time to show up? Now. I say 4 hours. Shut the fuck up, Jap Jap. America turned off his phone. He'd go over in 4 hours. He needed some time to get his stuff together. He grabbed a bag and started to pack it with some clothes, his toothbrush, his hairbrush, and other small things he thought necessary. He took his hairbrush out of his bag, brushing it through his hair a bit. He wanted to be at least presentable for when Russia showed up at his house. He should also do a little cleaning before Russia showed up, as he'd like it if he could get his crush to like him a bit more. America started humming to himself as he started to tidy up a bit. He wasn't sure how much time he had until Russia got to his house, but he hoped he'd have enough time to clean up a bit more for Russia. He felt himself relax as he cleaned. His humming made it easier for him to do so. He felt arms wrap around him and he flushed, swinging around to see who it was. It was Russia hugging onto him. He slowly relaxed again and smiled, moving his arms to hug his tall friend back. Hello, America. Russia hummed, smiling at America. He moved a hand to lightly hold America's cheek. The other had a cute face. He liked seeing the way the other slightly flushed when he did this. After that, he leaned down slightly and kissed America on both cheeks before kissing him on the first cheek he'd kissed. While Russia was at his level, he returned this greeting, one kiss to each cheek. Hey, Russ, he said, smiling brightly. Russia chuckled and moved his hand off America's cheek and slowly let go of him. America looked cute. He wished America was interested in him, as he'd be lucky to have the other. Are you feeling a bit better? He hummed, deciding to mess with America's hair. The other's hair was soft, fluffy, and dense like a teddy bear. But his hair was long. He wished America didn't tie it up the way he did. It was fun to mess with. Yeah, I am, America responded, leaning into Russia's touch. His touch was calming and felt nice. He felt Russia's hands move up and start to mess with his hair, the hair ties keeping his hair up. He hummed and looked up at Russia, unsure of why Russia was messing with the hair ties. Russia just removed them, and America felt his hair fall down. Then he felt Russia move his hands into his now down hair, and starting to braid it. I like your hair, Russia purred, answering the unasked question. Thank you, Russ, America mumbled, quite flustered. Russia hummed, continuing to braid America's hair. Of course. After a while of Russia braiding America's hair, America decided to ask a question. Russia, do you have the stuff you need for Japan's sleepover, or do you want to go get it later? I have it with me," Russia responded, continuing to braid America's hair. "It's on the couch." "So, when do you want to head to Japan's?" America asked, starting to slowly walk them somewhere where he could sit down. "How about in an hour and a half?" Russia hummed, using one of the hair ties to secure the braid he'd finished. America was a little surprised. Russia didn't like visiting Japan much. She was a bit too high energy for him. Then he looked at the time, feeling his surprise melt away. It'd been about 2 hours since the text from Italy that they should be there in about 4 hours. 30 minutes would allow them to show up 10 minutes early, which was nice. "Sounds good to me," America hummed, taking a seat in one of the dining room chairs. Russia took a seat in the chair next to America and smiled, letting himself relax. The two of them ended up getting lost in a conversation, talking away the time. America being the one to realize they needed to head out to get to Japan's house. The two of them got their bags and got on their way to Japan's house. They ended up discussing what they thought Japan would choose to play as a pastime. "Personally, I think she'll choose Truth or Dare or some shit," Russia hummed out, looking at his phone to double-check that they were walking in the right direction. "Yeah, but this is Jappo we're talking about. The one who does pairing art of us sometimes," America responded with a playful eye roll. "She'll probably do Truth or Dare, or Never Have I Ever, or 7 Minutes in Heaven. She writes fanfics too, you know." "I saw one too many comics she's drawn, Russ." "Politely, hush," America mumbled. America felt the top of his head get pet and smiled, knowing that it was Russia. He wished Russia might eventually see him in a romantic light. He knew it was improbable and something that would continue to be relegated to his dreams, but he didn't mind, as Russia's presence was enough for him. Russia chuckled and lightly grabbed America's hand. "We're headed this way." He gently pulled America into the next turn as they headed to Japan's house. "Thank you, Russ," America hummed happily, following Russia into the next turn. "She might have us play Fuck, Marry, Kill," Russia said, dragging the topic of what kind of activities Japan might be planning. "I think she'd choose Kiss, Marry, Kill, and if she does, she'd add some sort of twist to it, like acting it out, given everyone involved is there," America hummed, considering the possibility. "If she uses people who aren't there, I'm not sure what she'll do." "America, she writes smut fanfics. She'll pick Fuck, Marry, Kill," Russia hummed, disagreeing on which version of the game Japan would use. "But for your comfort, I hope she chooses Kiss, Marry, Kill." "Thanks, Russ," America mumbled, looking over at Russia with a soft look for a moment. He stopped himself, reminding that Russia didn't feel that way about him, and probably never would. That fact always hurt to remember, but he kept a smile on his face, as he was lucky enough to have the chance to be close with the other as a friend. That would be enough for him. Russia looked at America and smiled softly before they got to Japan's house. Once they'd arrived, Russia opted to knock on the door. Roughly 30 seconds later, the door opened. In the doorway, Italy stood with Greece beside him. "Oh, hi! Welcome in, Russia and America," Italy said, moving out of the way to allow Russia and America into the house. America smiled at Italy and Greece, only going for the kiss on the cheek greeting with Italy. He knew Greece wasn't comfortable with it, so he dipped his head politely to her. Russia chose to follow suit, only doing the greeting with Italy and opting to greet Greece with a wave instead of a head dip. "Hi, nice to see you both," America said, smiling happily at both Greece and Italy. Russia just gave a nod, staying close to America while they entered the house. The two of them found that South Korea, Mexico, China, and North Korea were already there. Japan saw America and hopped up from her spot on the couch, opting to throw herself at America like a person-sized heat-seeking missile. This caused America to stumble a little and squeak as he resteadied himself, as he caught Japan, gently hugging her. Japan stepped back after a second and eagerly dragged America over to the couch, where everyone had been sitting. America opted to sit next to Mexico, while Japan went back to sitting next to their girlfriend, South Korea. America looked around, wanting to get Russia to come over and join him. Once he spotted Russia, he waved him over, as he wanted Russia to sit next to him. Once Russia started walking over, America excitedly made room for him with a smile on his face. When Russia sat down, he felt himself get squished against the person next to him. He was sitting beside Mexico, who he quickly apologized to, getting up so that they weren't squished together. America smiled nervously at Mexico and Russia before opting to just sit on the arm of the couch, so that he wasn't squishing anyone or making them uncomfortable. Russia frowned, thinking for a moment before patting his thigh, inviting America to sit on his lap. America flushed and shook his head, not wanting to make his friend uncomfortable, even if it meant for him to be in a bit of an uncomfortable position. "America, it won't make me uncomfortable. Just sit here. It'll be more comfortable for you. Definitely more comfortable than the armrest," Russia said, chuckling and giving America a warm smile. "Just try not to shift around too much." America nodded, reluctantly getting off the armrest of the couch, sitting on Russia's lap instead. He wasn't able to relax himself very easily, worried he'd make Russia uncomfortable if he relaxed too much. Russia chuckled a little and rubbed his friend's shoulders, trying to help America relax. He smiled a little as he felt his friend beginning to relax and slowly lean back onto him. He was glad he could relax America. He had to admit, he had quite a large crush on his friend, and this little interaction wasn't helping. America was adorable, and just looking at the other caused his feelings to swell up in his chest. God, he wanted to kiss America, to hold him, to hold his hand for more than occasional brief moments, and so much more. But dwelling on it wouldn't get his feelings returned. He knew that. The door opened, and Russia didn't have to check the time to know it was probably Ukraine and Canada. He had checked the chat while getting to America's house, finding that it was going to be them, Japan, Italy, South Korea, Mexico, North Korea, China, Ukraine, and Canada. And seeing as everyone but those two were accounted for, and that the two had planned on showing up together, it was definitely Canada and Ukraine. Just as Italy had done with them, he greeted the two dumbasses, allowing them into the house. Once the two were in the house, Japan hopped up from the couch and excitedly gestured for everyone to follow her and sit on the floor. Russia held on to America slightly, not wanting to get off the couch. Not around the waist, though, as that would probably make America give him a weird look and might ruin their friendship. He would have liked to, but he didn't want to fuck up his non-existent chances. America chuckled a little and gently pried Russia off of him, moving to sit on the floor. "Come on, Russia," he urged, patting the spot on the floor next to him. Russia got up, grumbling, but sat next to America on the floor. He found himself in between America and Italy, which he didn't mind, as Italy was the more tolerable of the twins, and America was his adorable close friend and crush. "What game are we going to play, Jappa?" America chose to speak up and ask, asking a question that was likely on the mind of most people in the room. Japan seemed to think for a second before deciding. "Truth or dare, but you spin the bottle to see who's going to answer, so circle up." America stayed close to Russia as they got into a fairly small circle. While everyone got into the circle, Japan hopped up and ran to go collect a bottle to spin. She came back, chugging a bottle of sake. She finished the bottle quickly and put it in the middle of the circle, ready to spin. "So, who's first?" Japan excitedly asked. After a bit of no one answering, Japan chose to speak up again. "No one? Okay, I'll do it," she purred, reaching out to the bottle to spin it. America flashed back to the last time she'd spun a bottle. It had flung up, hit him in the face, and then buried itself halfway into the wall behind him. He vigorously shook his head, deciding that he'd do it. No, I'll do it," he blurted out nervously. He waited until Japan moved away from the bottle before taking it and spinning it. It landed on Canada. America could do this easily. It was his brother, after all. "All right, nada, truth or dare?" America hummed, already knowing the answer. Canada, deciding to be full of surprises today, said, "Truth." America did a double take, pausing for a second before speaking again. "All right, what's in the box under your bed? Wait, do I want to know that? I get the feeling I don't." "Too late," Canada hummed, leaning back a bit. "Toys for my OF and the hub." "I regret existing," America mumbled, wishing he hadn't asked. Canada spun the bottle and it landed on North Korea. "Truth or dare?" "Truth," North Korea answered. "Pussy!" Japan yelled, pointing in a semi-accusatory manner. She got a light smack from her girlfriend, South Korea, but also a sound of slight agreement in the sentiment that this was a cowardice move. "Fine. Dare." North Korea grumbles, accepting his fate. "Try to turn China on." Canada hummed, laughing a bit. "You're a dick, Canada. After I fucking spin." North Korea grumbled, reaching out and spinning it. It landed on Japan. "Revenge, kitty cat. Truth or dare?" "Dare!" Japan chirped, not even hesitating. "I dare you to drink a bowl of water like a cat," North Korea said with a smirk. Japan whined, very clearly embarrassed, as she got up and left to the sink to go collect a bowl of water. She grumpily started flicking droplets of water into her mouth like a cat. America kept his eyes away from the side of the circle North Korea and China were on. He did not want to see that. Canada could politely buck off in this case. He noticed Russia doing the same, which he was happy. He wasn't the only one not interested in this. After Japan finished the bowl of water, the game continued, and America zoned out as the game continued, finding himself lost in thought as it continued. He started to feel himself get tired, and leaned his head on Russia's shoulder as he fell asleep. He woke up to feeling someone pick him up, and slowly opened his eyes, looking up to see who was carrying him. He saw Russia carrying him, and smiled a little as he closed his eyes. He felt himself placed on something soft and snuggled into it a little, getting himself comfortable. So cute, he heard Russia whisper. He could hear the smile in his voice. He then felt whatever he was on dip behind him and let himself roll towards it, assuming Russia had got near him. He felt arms wrap around him and smiled a little. God, I love you so damn much, he heard Russia mumble. America blushed heavily, hoping Russia meant that in a romantic sense. He slowly rolled himself over and opened his eyes, looking up at Russia. I love you too, Russia, America mumbled, blushing heavily. So, what does this make us? Russia flushed heavily, looking at America. What would you like to be? He asked, holding on to America gently. I'd like to be boyfriends, America mumbled, blushing even more. I'd like that as well, Russia said softly, leaning in for a kiss. America kissed Russia gently, slowly kissing Russia for a second. The two of them kissed a few more times before they fell asleep. America woke up and looked around, flushing at the memory that told him that he and Russia were now in a relationship. He looked around the room for a bit and slowly leaned himself closer to Russia's face, tempted to wake the other with a kiss. He hesitated and moved himself away at the last moment. He didn't notice Russia moving closer to him until he heard the other say, "If you don't, I will," before pulling him into a gentle kiss. Then they heard a yell from the other side of the house. Japan yelling, "What the heck are you doing in my room, you little runt?" Before they heard glass shatter, then presumably a yell from Italy, who was probably on the front lawn. I was gonna warn ya that Mom and Dad are home early. And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will see you tomorrow.